Check one, check two, check one, check two. Hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hmm. This microphone doesn't appear to be recording at a very strong level. Hmm. So I'm hoping here that you guys can see me. Maybe I will make this a short message just to run as a test because I don't want it to be another video where it's nearly an hour long and I don't have any audio. I have some of that on my other channel. I still need to contact YouTube and see if they can look at the file for me. See if I can get that audio back because I didn't really understand why it was doing that. You know what I mean? So, today the Farmer's Almanac refers to corn, and it says the best time to eat corn is right after you pick it because the kernels quickly turn to start. Well, the sugars within the kernels. Anyway, also, I did not get to the some of the famous August birthdays yesterday. Um, Fashion designer Tom Ford, actress Melissa McCarthy, singer Whitney Houston, and football player who I believe he's now retired, Tom Brady. Okay. I'll have August birthdays. But Miss Whitney, yes, she does. And okay, so we'll always, I happened to be out the night that she died. And I was actually at a concert. And it was so weird because right before the concert began at the venue, they made an announcement. And this was like before everyone, because I can't remember what exact year it was, but this was before everyone had their cell phones and the connections to the internet. And like we had cell phones, but not everyone was so like hooked in as we are now. So when they made that announcement, we're thinking like, was that some kind of weird hoax? Like people were kind of, you know, questioning, is that what and then late, it was after, I think, sometime after we were done at the concert that, somebody was able to look it up or something, or look at the news or something and said, yeah, that's right, that she had passed on. So it was kind of, surreal. Wasn't that like, it was like in November. I want to say it was November time frame, if not late October, but I want to say November. Anyway, so yes, let's make this a quick message, just because again, I'm not 100% certain on this microphone quality that's going to come through at the moment. Okay. Let me see if I can't. Says microphone is in use. Yeah, I'm just checking the setting here on. Doesn't really give me a whole lot of options. So I'm just gonna check the playback on it. Sometimes you have to do that from time to time because you can click the exact same buttons and then go back and look at the replay and it's like, oh, there's no audio, or oh, why isn't the video working? Or the video was frozen. Oh, what you need to check these things from time to time. Okay. I know people are so used to technology working properly, but let me tell you, I worked in IT for a while, and there's a lot of things that can go wrong behind the scenes, um, even when everything appears seemingly correct. So maybe that is part of what this message is about. I guess I'll do it this way. Page of Pentacles. So foundationally, maybe somebody is looking at their money. Yeah, Four of Pentacles. Okay. So there could be some kind of feeling of insecurity at this time. But remember, there's nothing wrong with just being stable. Yeah. The death card, Scorpio. So, Scorpio will be after Virgo, after Leo. Okay. Um, you might be putting a death to, say, let me see if I turn the light on, if that helps with the glare. Not exactly. Not exactly. Sorry, guys. I just have a glare coming through the help a little bit. Maybe not exactly. All right. Um, but putting a death to the, keeping up with the Joneses, right? At the detriment maybe of what you're saving, of what you're earning, of what you're, you know what I mean? So, the Four of Pentacles, some people look at that and be like, oh, you don't have enough. Oh, whereas somebody else might look at the Four of Pentacles and be like, you're being smart. You're not wasting your money on such and such. You're thinking about stability. Okay. All right. I don't know if you've noticed these days, but things cost money, right? I went out with this one guy once. His kind of philosophy was, oh well, easy come, easy go, and just find a new thing to replace it, and it's like, you don't understand, not everything can be replaced that easily, right? That was just his philosophy, you know. And what was even funnier is he literally did not have any of that money to back it up. Right? So if he was liable, he didn't have any funds to, you know what I mean? Like, he was out of lives on the video game when it came to that. Temperance, Sagittarius, patience, patience, patience. Okay. So collective, be patient with yourself if, if you have to kind of say switch gears away from people that like, oh, what, you're not joining us on this vacation such and such and it's gonna cost X amount of dollars. And you could be like, yeah, I mean, I guess I could put it on my credit card, but yeah, I mean, I guess I could put it on my credit card, but maybe you're not doing that right now. Maybe you're saving that credit card for emergency purchases only. They're just going to have to deal with it, right? So um think about what's good for you in the long term. That's what part of this temperance is about. It's not necessarily about um instant gratification, but you can be grateful in the moment while dreaming of the future, right? The future? Yes, the future. 10 of wands. Okay. So you might end up telling somebody that you're like kind of over their shenanigans when it comes to whatever this is, say them complaining about you not having enough, or them thinking you were going to cover their bill for them, right? I mean, yeah. Yeah. Right. Most people are like, yeah, it's been since I've been under 18 that somebody, right? Most people aren't running around rushing to pay other people's expenses. That's not really right. So again, because you are being cognizant, right? Somebody else would be like, oh, what? You don't have a sugar daddy? Oh, what? You don't have some rich girlfriend that you can screw over? Blah, blah, blah. While we go and have fun on the DL, you know what I'm saying? Right? Yeah, again, they thought what? They thought you were gonna do what? They thought wrong. The price is wrong, biatch. Okay? 5 of wands. You're not fighting about it. I think they see that it's something to fight over, right? Because they're like rats in a sock. I mean, they have nothing. So that's just what they do. When people are like, "Oh, why are they fighting? Oh, why are they do?" Because that's what they do. That's why trashy people get called trashy because they do trashy things, right? Then you realize you're like, do I want to be hanging around this trashiness, or are we gonna do something a little more pleasing to our hearts and our spirit of life here. Okay. So the fact that the death card is here and you're like, yeah, we're like not participating in that. um I'm not even gonna say thank you very much. I'm just gonna say see ya. See ya. Knight of Wands. All right. So whoever this is, yeah, they're definitely irritated. El Diablo, they are definitely irritated that you could be getting some attention, right? Especially a flirtatious attention. And you might have already put a stop to, whatever they thought they were going to get you to do, which was, I guess feed their ego. um and it's one of those things where they're the type of person that would be like, oh well, okay, well, you don't want to put it on your credit card, we'll just open up a new one and I'll pay you back. This is that's their kind of mentality, and you're like, well, no, well, why don't you open up one? But see, that's the problem. They don't have it together to even be able to do that. They would never get approved, so they want to talk you into doing it. That's the message. That's the message from whoever this scoundrel is. Okay, so definitely be wary of any paperwork anyone's offering you to sign. Make sure you're actually signing the right thing. Again, I know it's so easy on the internet. Click, 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 click. Okay. But kind of scan through some of that stuff. Make sure it's, that you're approving the correct document that you even opened, you know. Cause don't let them slide in, one more, like when you're signing your mortgage and you're going through like 20 different places you have to sign your name. But what if there was that 21st page in there and somebody slipped in something else that said, "Oh, and by the way, this gives me all rights to make executive decisions on your property, blah, blah, blah." And you're like, "Wait a second, I didn't agree to that." "Oh, but your signature's right here." Right? I don't care if they're in a hurry, that's their problem. It is your right to understand what you're signing. It is your right to have your signature verified and validated by the proper notarized individuals and witnesses. I mean, I had an argument with a medical provider once because they had the incorrect social security number written down, which conveniently matched the last four digits of my debit card. And I was like, who's been going through my things? Because, of course, they just brought me in this clipboard and they're like, we need your signature here, blah, blah, blah. So I signed. But then I looked and I'm like, wait a second. This is not my social security number. So I had to wait in line at the nurse's station while they, tried to ignore me to the best of their ability while I was explaining to them that someone had fraudulently placed an incorrect social security number on my paperwork that obviously was fraudulent because the last four digits matched the debit card that was also in my purse. I wonder what brilliant genius came up with that. Nurse Ratchet, do you know them? Clickety clack, clickety clack. So if this person is going around saying they know you, just realize they can say that all they want, but it's only going to get them so far. Because at a certain point, the law is going to catch up. The legal system's going to catch up. Background checks are going to catch up, right? And you can say, "Oh, remember how you guys thought that person was so great? Well, maybe you can foot the bill since you like feet so much." Right foot? Alrighty then. That's all I have. Scorpio, Sagittarius, and Cappy's over here. So definitely just beware, of the who the criers are, right? Because you're not one of them. Okay. And you don't need their piss poor excuses either. All right. Please do like the video, especially if you're in the chat today. Remember, you do not have to be a subscriber in order to like the video. All right. Until next time, please do manifest wisely. Bye bye.